very low crime rate. One of the things, and we had a seminar 2 months ago on domestic violence because we have 32 crimes for the year on Roosevelt Island. 23 of those crimes are domestic violence related assaults. I've partnered with the NYPD. They have a new domestic violence unit, and they're going to, try to interview complaints because we have a number of complaints on this island for domestic violence. For this year, we have about 90 complaints of when people have a domestic violence incident in their apartment. They call PSC and NYPD, and we're partnering. We're going to partner together, and they think that if we could just interview the people who are involved intimately, one-on-one, not have them come down to a group setting, that we may be able to make a little bit of headway, offer the resources that there is in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, the NYPD, New York City, just get people to engage with the resources that are available for this domestic violence, specifically on Roosevelt Island. Of all of our crimes, that is what's driving our crime up in this community. But we're going to, I'm going to stay on top of it. I'm going to come up with different ideas. The NYPD, like I said, they're all in. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The Manhattan District Attorney was here for the seminar on domestic violence. So it is something that is important to everybody, everyone in the community, outside the community, that we get a better handle on what's happening. I have a number of complaints where people are getting really, really seriously hurt in their relatives. They're hurting each other, and we have to do something better or change whatever we're doing to try to keep this community, safe.
Can you just get a number? It was how many?
Excuse me?
23 domestic violence out of how many?
No, these are 23 domestic violence arrests.
Out of how many total?
Out of 80, maybe 90.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 37 or something.
No, out of the total amount of crime on the island, we have 30 of what we call our index crimes. So those murder, rape, robbery, burglary, grand larceny, auto, and arson. Those are what they call index crimes. That's how they calculate the crime numbers in New York City and across the country. And out of those index crimes, we have 32. And 23 of those index crimes, one of them being, assault. Aggravated assault is calculated in our numbers, and 23 of those out of the 32 are assault.
And so 32 total. And I've always known Roosevelt Island has low crime.
Yes.
But lowest in the city, or at least close to it.
Yes.
But there was a little period of time, and maybe it was post-COVID, since everybody was getting a rise in crime during COVID or whatever. But I do remember coming to these meetings and people were concerned because there was some upticking. So my question is that 32 sort of reduced from the past?
Since I have been here, the number has been between 30 and 40. It's never gone above 40, and it stays at around 30.
Okay.
Since I've been here, we've never had more than 40.
And what about I know there was
even during the COVID times.
I know there's a lot of issues with people stealing from Wayne Reed.
Well, so I was going to speak about that also, because last year at this time we had 155 threat thefts from Dwayne Reed, shoplifting, and at this time at one we have 60. So we're down about 40%.
That's great.
Down about 40%. I can attribute that to we have an officer who is stationed in that area from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m.
And do you know how that reduction compares to the city overall? Because I know there's been theft in places like Reed.
I don't look at what the rest of the city is doing, but I can just tell you from for what I see, I have not done a study on it, but the thefts in these stores are up. We have found a way to combat it and drive it down.
Awesome.
And one of them is, and this happens throughout the city. When they have an officer or they have security standing in the store, those numbers go down. When you don't have anyone there, the numbers go up. And that is the trend around the city. Some of the stores, they have someone and some don't. They go by, the amount of property that's stolen. We didn't fit, or we were not within the threshold for them to assign a security guard to Roosevelt Island. And so what we did, because 155 is a lot. And when I say 155, it's more than just someone coming into the store and then shoplifting. It's the disruption with the customers. It's when they come in and sometimes the person, they decide to knock all of the things off the shelves. So, or get into a back and forth with the Dwayne Reed employees. So us having an officer there has tremendously reduced the number of these events.
It's great.
So that was something that we decided to do as a team, and it has driven down the number. A couple of other things in the community. I looked at the stats. The bad word that we talk about is the tram. And because it is a hot topic in the community, because sometimes there are long lines. But I looked at the number of days that we had long lines at the tram, and there are 31 days in the entire year that there were long lines at the tram. And when we call long lines, those are the times when we have officers, more than one officer assigned to that area, so that we can control how many people are on the platform. And we've had 31 days into 2025, which is about 10% of the time. And most of the time that's on the weekend and or a holiday. Or we had a couple in the last couple of weeks, but it's a pop-up. It's when on a Saturday afternoon, it's nice outside. People say, let's go to, take a ride on the tram, and then we get a pop-up, and we kind of, PSC, we monitor it, we see it, we're in constant talks with the tram operators. If they see it, we get 3 or 4 officers over there, and we keep the people safe. We keep them off of the stairwell, because that's where injuries could possibly happen. So there's no pushing, there's no shoving. People line up in the plaza, and orderly they enter the tram. And even, just using mathematics, the tram cabins hold 100 people. Even if there's 200 people online, you get on the tram within 12 minutes, because each tram takes about 6 minutes to go back. So 200 people online, 12 minutes. I don't know if that's alarming to wait 12 minutes for public transportation. But we manage the line. I don't know if there's anything at this point, unless we build another tram or have some way that we could get more people on the car, build another car. We have 100 people are safe on the tram car. One of the other things that we do when we see an event where there are long lines is that keeping people off the platform, and also inside the turnstile area. We limit it to about 50 people inside the turnstile area, so that there's no overcrowding. And then once the tram car comes in, the cabin comes in, they open up the car, those 50 people get in, and then we put another 50 people onto the tram cabin, and then away they go.
And you guys did put it back to the normal
And then it's back to normal speed. So 6 minutes, it's moving. A couple of weeks ago, the president, he saw that there were lines at the tram. He called me. By the time I reached back to him and we spoke, the lines were gone, and the event was over. So, especially on the weekend now, when it gets dark at about 4:30, that's the end of the lines. Most people, they want to ride the trams, the tourists, they want to ride the trams during the daytime hours. So our handle is that we keep the people safe until they come up with a better solution. what we're going to do whenever we have these long lines is that we're going to manage it and make sure that everyone's safe on the train. A couple other things, like I said, good news about my office in PSC is that we've been at full staff for about 4 months at PSD, and it shows because you see more officers who are on Main Street. You see more officers who are riding around. When it was the temperatures were above about 50 degrees, I had 3 to 4 people on bicycles for that period of time because we have a full staff. We had more training for the officers. We got them fully trained. We were able to train the entire staff on de-escalation so that they are, in tune with the community. We had a community member who teaches on mental health, and she came and she trained our entire staff on mental health, on how to just deal with different episodes. So our training is up. We have recertifications coming up at the end of this month. So all of our special patrolmen, which there is a difference between just a regular public safety officer and the special patrolman, even though they wear the same uniform, same patch, it's what they are able to do. Our special patrolmen, they can make arrests, they can write summonses. And at this time, we have, out of our 51 officers, we have 22 who are fully special patrolmen who can do every single thing that's required. But the training and up, just getting everybody up to par for the staff is coming really quick because we haven't had this turnover that had really brought us down for a long time. Having a full staff has been remarkable for us as a department, which I would say 90% of that goes to Chief Amoroso. He stays on top of it. He's making sure that we have, if there's somebody who leaves, that we know that they're going to leave. When the NYPD classes come up, we have officers who leave. He's right on top of it. He stays on top of it. He has people who are interviewed. He has people ready to go, and working with our HR department, we get them right in and we get them trained and we have them back out on the street. So, and it worked for us. One of the notices that I see also is that during the daytime hours, especially on the middle of Main Street, it's people making illegal U-turns. When we have a full staff, we make sure that that's one of our #1 priorities. And with the construction going on Main Street, we have officers who are there and who are, very helpful to the community.
Do you know how long the Main Street construction is going to?
It should be over. I'm hearing December 23rd. Regardless, if it's not, we're going to have a little break for the Christmas holiday, and then they're saying that it should be fully done off of Main Street by January 5th, if not somewhere around those dates. However, they can't work below 30 degrees temperature. So once the temperature hits 30 degrees, they cannot work. And but it's cold. It's really so that has slowed down the progress, in the last few days because the last couple of days it has been cold outside.
It has worked out though. Like besides being less parking spots, we have we have a good routine with the company, and just even moving from phase to phase to phase, it kind of went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I call it like this: collaboration and cooperation. Our PSC officers, they keep the streets clear so that they can come and reroute the traffic, and then they work as fast as possible, and usually they're out of here by 4 o'clock, so traffic gets to be a little bit better, but the parking situation cannot be lifted until the construction is over. So we're working on that. Hopefully they'll be done sooner than later, and Main Street will be back to normal. We did open it up for the Thanksgiving holiday, and it worked. There was parking on Main Street, and it worked for us. A couple of other good things. The farmers market is down underneath the Helix, and REAC is working with some of the vendors to give them a little bit more protection inside the atrium area, so that they could, so that they won't be exposed to the elements as well.
So it's going to be permanently like winter under the helix,
Yes.
summer by the church.
Yes, that is the plan going forward. It works better under the helix for just the wind over on at the plaza. It is unbearable. So underneath the helix for the winter provides actually for a little bit more.
It used to always be.
Yes.
All year long.
And once upon, I remember when it moved. The past president, she thought it was a great idea, and they moved it to the plaza. And it works very well, especially in those summer months, right in the middle of Roosevelt Island, that you have.
I agree.
That you have this food plaza.
Yeah.
Food court.
I always feel like I get why it's under the helix for the winter, for the protection from the elements, but it's less appealing to be going to buy your food underneath like
Yes.
this place where there's like cars coming, there's
Yes, it
exhaust.
is.
It's spraying.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
As soon as the weather breaks, and we, in the sunshine, the summer months, it is a better place. So that's REAC in a nutshell.
Good job.
Did you want me to comment?
Just on any update on the fire and if you know what the cause of the fire
we don't know
was?
what the cause is. The fire marshals have been working tirelessly. We don't have the cause at this time. I could say one thing, because I've heard this in the community from a few people, that PSD was not helpful in collecting funds or collecting clothing, that we did not do that. I heard someone mention it at the board meeting, and Joyce Short wrote a fiery letter about that we didn't do our job, that we refused to collect clothing, and I say this: the Red Cross was on scene. The Red Cross, they're the people who are experts, and they did help the family because they did house them. The Red Cross was here that night, and they met with the family, and my officers pretty much introduced them and made sure that they were delivered to anywhere where the Red Cross was going to house them. And I kind of use this analogy because they're the people who know how to handle donations. They're the people who know how to distribute the goods and services. And I say it like this, and if I have a water leak and I need a plumber, I don't call an electrician to fix it. I get the plumber. So why would someone, a couple of people in the community, want PSC to distribute funds and collect clothing when the Red Cross was here to do it? That's not our job. It's not in our wheelhouse. If it was something that we could have helped with, we probably would have helped to do it. But the people who are experts at doing the job, they were here to do the job. And they helped out the family. And the family they were very appreciative of what PSC did for them. The people who were saying things, they had no skin in the game. They had no idea what PSC was doing.
And do we know if some people are saying that the fire alarms didn't go off? Do you know whether or not the fire alarms
I
went off?
have two independent witnesses who said that the fire alarms were there. I spoke to my captain, and I could not hear him because he was in the building with the fire alarms going. They were raging. I could not hear. And that's what I heard about the fire alarms.
Where was the fire in this?
Fire on Main Street, woman passed away.
I didn't know that. Totally missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
There was, throughout the whole night, even the fire alarms that were in 550, which is the PSD building, every time we were talking on the phones, the desk officer had to go outside because
The alarms were still going.
all night
When
long.
was this? Like, how did I miss this?
November 2nd, I think.
November 2nd?
I don't remember the date.
I'm not sure of the date.
And then
Don't
people
quote
actually
me.
came to us to from the community to let us know, hey, the fire alarms were going. We heard that.
The two people who came to us, they were first people on the scene. They called 911, they called PSD. They're the ones who alerted the fire department and showed them exactly where to go.
That's very sad.
Thank you.
That's all I have.